Hi, I'm Chris McLean. Designing for yourself instead of your users is a risk we all face, but there's a way to avoid it: empathy and user attributes. One of the biggest risks in design is a lack of empathy. It's hard for everyone, but as an engineer, I got less empathy training than most. If you just listen to yourself, you design for yourself. But as a designer, your job is not to solve your problem, it's to solve someone else's problem. And that means starting the process with empathy. We're going to cover user attributes, what they are, and why they're important. Then we'll locate them in the overall design process and learn how to phrase them correctly. Let's start with something we've all done: giving someone a gift. When is buying a gift for someone tough? I find it toughest when I don't know them well, or they won't tell me what they want, or maybe when they have everything. And when is it easy? Well, it's the opposite. You know them, so you know what they want. Maybe they've told you what they want, or someone else has. You know their mind and heart. Sometimes in design, it's easy because you're part of the community you're designing for. Say you're a climber and you're designing climbing equipment. But even then, you're only one climber in that community, and you might have specific needs that are different from the group. Most of the time, it's hard to truly know your user, but it gets easier if you start the design process with empathy. A user attribute is simply a description of a great solution. It's also known as voice of customer. But the trick is to describe a great solution without describing one particular great solution. When we get to brainstorming, we describe particular solutions, but right now, the user attributes have to describe all possible great solutions. That's the difference between describing a chair as comfortable versus saying that a chair has a cushion. We'll dig into that in the next slide. And we record these early, after you decide whom you're designing for and what problem you're solving, and before you start brainstorming. This is the first part of a process called Quality Function Deployment, or QFD. It's the left column in the table. I'm going to start this with an example. Designers need great light. Natural light is best, but we work day and night, and the decisions we make affect our work, our customers, and our careers. They have to be great decisions. So we need fantastic, accurate light that we can sit under all day and night. These are the general attributes of a user attribute. Always try to use the words of your user. Don't modify or translate them into your own words because you might change the meaning. This is actually easier because you just have to write down what they say. Again, don't imply a particular solution. Typically, that means using a lot of adjectives and adverbs. We also need to be unambiguous about what we want. This usually means avoiding simple nouns. Finally, try to make all of the user attributes independent of each other. If they're saying the same thing, there's no benefit. And if they're close but disagree with each other, they're confusing. This will all get clearer with some examples. On the left is a list of user attributes, finally. This list describes a great solution for a designer who wants a very particular kind of light on their desk. Most people don't care about light this much. A different user would have a different list of user attributes. This user cares about natural light and accurate colors. They're going to be under the light a lot, so it can't cause eye strain. They want lots of light, but want to be able to dim it if they need to. It can't distract them with buzzing or humming. And they do care about energy efficiency, but maybe not as much as the quality of the light. Nowhere in here do I say light bulb or LED or incandescent. That would be talking about a specific solution, and we're not ready for that. Here is a list of bad examples. We want to avoid these. The first one on the list, how it looks, is ambiguous. The second one, color frequencies, doesn't tell us if we want all the frequencies or some of them or a consistent level of each frequency. There are a lot of nouns like brightness. Do they want a lot or a little? I could guess, but that's too risky. and efficiency/heat. Those are related for sure, but they can be independent, so I should split them out. We're aiming for the list on the left. When we eventually have a solution for this user, that list should describe it. Okay, we're going to do some design. Imagine that tomorrow a historic law will be signed in this room. Your job is to go out and buy the pen used to sign the law. You don't have to design it, just buy it. A lot of design is actually just buying stuff that other people designed. Your laptop designer didn't design the processor, they just picked Intel or AMD. Signing this law is going to be a big deal with important people on camera forever. How would you describe that pen to the owner of the pen shop? I need a pen that is... If you want to, pause the video now while you write down some ideas. Okay, here's a short list. Not slippery. You don't want someone to drop it. Easy to use and intuitive. What happens if someone can't get the cap off? Feels good in the hand. You want the people signing the law to feel like they're doing something important, and I think this is part of it. Instant flow of ink. They can't scribble on a corner of the law until it works. Solid, visible line. If it's on TV, it really has to be visible. Classic design that fits with the occasion and room. These reflect the sense that it can't be a standard clicky ballpoint or bright orange or encrusted with diamonds. It has to fit with the solemnity of the occasion and the room it is in. If I've missed some, please put them in the comments. Note how this list is so specific to these users and this problem. I don't think I've ever used a pen described by this list of user attributes. At the end of the day, if you want your design to fit into someone's life, you need to start by empathizing. Users can be difficult. Most of us have had service jobs at some point. So it's easy to turn inward for the answers, but we need to turn outward and record the user attributes as we hear them. As we empathize with our users, we will start to love them, and then we really have what we need to generously solve their problem. Please subscribe if you would like to learn more about the design process. And if you would like to start turning your ideas into products, please check out the Heroic Design Workbook. The link is in the notes below. Thank you for your time and attention.